We found it inside an old newspaper box near King's Cross. But by morning, it had changed. It looked ordinary tarnished silver, two faces carved into its surface. My family and I were on our way back from a weekend trip to London. It was one of those classic rainy nights, the city lights smearing across the train window. My youngest daughter, Lily, clutched the locket the whole way home. She'd been the one to spot it, tucked away as if waiting. We joked it must have belonged to someone long gone, a forgotten keepsake from a different era. Once we were back in our warm kitchen, away from the drizzle and the distant rumble of the city, we placed it on the mantelpiece, a curious little souvenir. That night, it was just a piece of old metal, but that was the last time it would be so simple. Every morning it changed. It was subtle at first, the kind of thing you'd dismiss, thinking your memory was playing tricks on you. On the first day, the clasp, which had been stiff and hard to open, was suddenly loose. On the second, the intricate engravings on the front seemed deeper, more defined, as if freshly carved. By the third morning, the picture inside wasn't blank anymore. A faded, sepia-toned image of a woman with sad eyes had appeared. Her gaze seemed to follow you around the room. We tried to rationalize it, blaming the light, our imaginations, anything but the truth. But each day brought a new, impossible alteration, a tiny shift in its reality, and a growing knot of dread in our stomachs. We couldn't ignore it any longer. Using a magnifying glass, we found a name delicately engraved on the inside rim, Clara Wren, -1087. The name sent us down a rabbit hole of digital archives and old library records. We spent hours scrolling through microfilm, searching for any trace of her, but there was no record of Clara Wren's death. There was only a brief, chilling mention in an old London newspaper, a report of her disappearance. She had vanished without a trace near King's Cross Station. The same year the locket was reported lost. Coincidence felt like too small a word. The pieces were falling into place, but the picture they were forming was one we didn't want to see. By the fifth night, the house felt different, colder. Shadows in the corners of our eyes seemed to linger a moment too long. Mirrors would sometimes show our reflections with a split-second delay. The feeling of being watched was constant, suffocating. And then came the sound. We could hear it ticking from the other room, a soft, rhythmic beat like a heart. But the locket had no clockwork inside. We'd checked it a dozen times. As I stood frozen in the hallway, staring at the living room where it lay, the ticking grew louder. I slowly approached it, my own heart hammering in my chest. I peered into the locket, and for a terrifying instant, the face in the photo flickered, changing until one of the faces was mine. It wasn't there yesterday, but now it is.